In 2015, we saw some massive storms and historic flooding in Oklahoma. In fact, I am currently standing here at Keystone Lake, where they are still dealing with high water. Wow, what a mess. And if you recall, the flooding last May caused us to reschedule our Eastland family campout. And just last week, we were pumping water out of the sanctuary. In fact, rainfall this year was out of control. Historically, in Tulsa, we averaged 40 inches of rain, but this last year we saw over 64 inches. This is a lot of water to deal with. Needless to say, 2015 was full of storms, and not all of them were weather-related. I performed and attended more funerals last year than I ever have. We had a lot of people sick and in the hospital, and I know of some that had some serious spiritual battles in their homes. In life, there will be great storms, and some will be life-changing obstacles. After Bev and I had been married about 4 or 5 years, we actually lived about 12 miles east of here, and we experienced a great flood in our home. We had 13 inches of water inside the house, and it was devastating. Not only was it a storm in life, but it was also a financial storm that we went through. But God was faithful, and in the end, we were taken care of, and we praise God for that. Luke writes about a storm that Paul faced in Acts chapter 27. The story talks about the difficulty of the storm and the promise that God's angel delivered to him that he and the crew would survive the storm. Paul was aboard a ship that was to deliver him and other prisoners to Rome so they could stand trial. While at sea, the crew experienced a great storm. They were pushed out to sea and endured a barrage of life-threatening storms. It says in verse 20, the terrible storm raged for many days, blotting out the sun and stars until at last all hope was gone. This went on for weeks, and eventually they were shipwrecked on an island. Things got really bad for the crew and passengers, but in the end, God kept His promise and no one died. You may not have experienced a flood, a tornado, or even being caught at sea in a storm, but you can all relate to facing a storm in your life. Storms will come. They will rip through your life. I wished I could stand here today and promise you that they won't, but they will. But if you will ready yourself by trusting in the Father, you will weather the storm. And as the Word tells us, you will not be shaken.